Welcome back to Living Local. It is time now to check in with Movie Mike for what's new in theaters. Mike Schultz, as always, arts editor for the River Studios Reader, is back here in studio. Yeah. Mike, thanks for coming in.
It's good to be here.
So Mike's had some time off, been able to see some movies. Well, time off from the show.
From the show, right.
Not time
Come
off.
on.
We'll stop that. But he's got some ones that he's seeing out here. So the first one up here is called The Outfit.
Yes.
We obviously hadn't talked about this before, so why don't you walk us through what this actually is first?
Absolutely, yeah. This is a crime thriller set in Chicago in 1956. It takes place at the store of a cutter who's kind of like a tailor, but a little fancier, who works for the mob. And his store is a drop-off point for envelopes filled with cash. At one point, one of the mobsters comes in and reveals that they apparently have a rat in the organization, and someone is feeding information to the FBI about their activities. And it's basically a 7-character game of Who's the Rat? And it could be our lead, played by Mark Rylance. It could be one of the gangsters themselves. It could be Zoe Deutsch right there, his assistant. It is so well written. It is really exciting. It feels a bit like a stage play because there are only 7 people and 1 location, but it is absolutely thrilling. And Mark Rylance in the lead, who won an Oscar for Bridge of Spies in 2015, is tremendous. Just an incredible film and stage actor, and he does some insanely subtle work in this where you can't quite figure out what he's up to, but you know it's something. You know he's smarter than you are.
Okay.
It's great fun. It's by the guy who won an Oscar for The Imitation Game for writing that movie. Graham Moore is his name. Wonderful film. Loved it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is something that is, I don't know if it's interesting.
Okay.
This one's called X.
Yeah.
So this is.
Oh, it's interesting.
It's violent and it's kind of gory, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's some questionable parts of it too.
Ooh, indeed. But boy, is it fun. If this is the kind of thing you like, this is the kind of thing you're going to like. It is set in 1979, where a group of 20-somethings are going to an abandoned farmhouse to make an adult film and succeed in Hollywood that way. The 2 elderly owners of the farmhouse, though, it turns out they're not so crazy about having young folks on their property. And as you can imagine, in the style of drive-in movies of the 70s, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Last House on the Left, it gets gory and violent really fast. But it is incredibly well made by a writer-director named Ty West, and it looks like a 70s movie. It feels like a 70s movie. It's incredibly scary. It has some beautifully shot images. The acting is all good. It's also funny a lot of the times in the first half. I had a ball at this thing. I only got a little queasy, so to speak, when it started kind of developing deeper themes that it couldn't quite sustain. It's like, nah, it's just a slasher movie.
Yeah, don't try to make it more complex.
Exactly right. Okay. But if you like those kind of movies, it's a blast.
All right.
So
good. Next
You're
up,
not going to go see it.
No.
Yeah.
This one. This is also apparently supposed to be scary, right? Too.
Supposed to be.
It's called Uma.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's a horror movie, just not a scary horror movie.
Okay.
It casts Sandra.
Make sense, but
explain. Casts Sandra Oh, who is of course always terrific. She plays a woman who is living on a kind of a rural estate as a beekeeper. When she was a child, she was really horribly treated by her abusive mother. Her mother, it turns out, has just passed away. Her uncle comes to bring her mother's ashes,
of course,
and says you have to give your mother a traditional Korean burial, otherwise she's going to haunt you. Sandra Oh's character is like, she doesn't deserve a burial, I'm not gonna, and subsequently gets haunted. So there's not a lot of surprises in this film, but it is incredibly interesting. There's a lot of good stuff about Korean culture and about mother-daughter dynamics. Sandra Oh has a teenage daughter in this movie that, and basically the deceased mother starts possessing Sandra Oh, so she starts turning into the abusive mother that she hated as a child.
Okay.
So it's not scary. It's got a few boo moments that are kind of predictable, but it's really well acted, and it has some interesting themes to it. Yeah, I didn't mind it at all.
All right. That seems interesting at least. Not just violent.
Exactly right.
I need more than that.
Yeah.
I need something else.
Okay.
Let's get to our new ones here for this weekend, because they actually look promising.
They do.
So first one up is called The Lost City. You might have seen some previews so far for this. It's been promoted a little bit.
Very heavily. Absolutely. Because they know everyone's going to go see it.
Yes.
My mother is 80 years old, and she can't wait. She can't wait.
There
she
we
loves
go.
these people. If you've seen the movie Romancing Unleashing the Stone from 1984, where Kathleen Turner played a romance novelist who goes on an adventure. It's the same movie.
Well, I wasn't alive then. That's why they had to make a new one.
Stop. All right. This is Sandra Bullock as a romance novelist, and Channing Tatum plays her novel's cover model, basically like a Fabio kind of character. They go on a book tour. She gets kidnapped. He wants to play real hero, and so he goes to save the novelist. They get caught up in all sorts of misadventures in the jungle. Daniel Radcliffe plays a billionaire crazy person who's out to get him. Brad Pitt is playing a Fabio character with really long hair. I don't know what else there is to say. You know exactly what you're going to get. Basically, Sandra Bullock in the purple sequin dress in the jungle. That's your whole plot right there. And I don't need much more. Yeah. She's adorable. Channing Tatum is adorable. It's got a great cast. Could be a mess of fun, I think. I'm crossing fingers.
They're fun actors, fun adventure, all that good stuff.
Indeed.
Last but not least here, we've got an interesting story. This movie, it's interesting. The plot is interesting. It's called Infinite Storm.
Yes.
It's based on a true story.
That's true. 12 years ago, I believe this happened. Yes. This is set in New Hampshire, where a female hiker played by Naomi Watts is going to climb Mount Washington. She gets close to the summit of the mountain, but the weather conditions force her to turn around. But after she turns around, she notices in the snow a series of footprints, and she didn't know that there was anyone else up there. She follows them. She finds this incredibly disoriented young man kind of sitting on the edge of a cliff. He's not talking. He's not revealing his name. He's not explaining how he got there. He's basically in shorts and tennis shoes. And so the movie becomes then a survival drama about her needing to get herself and this increasingly distant young man who's probably dying of frostbite off the mountain before the temperatures fall in the evening, and they both perish. So it's it's going to be a really kind of startling adventure, and I think I need to bring a jacket just watching the preview. It's one of those movies where I just feel terrible for everybody involved, because I can't imagine getting up at the crack of dawn and being like, oh yeah, it's 40 degrees below again today.
Get the cameras out.
Yeah, they deserve their salaries.
I'm all about some good survival drama.
All right,
Mike, thanks for coming in. As always, in review out from previously, The Outfit, X, and Uma. And then out this week, new in theaters, The Lost City and Infinite Storm. Of course, you can always read Mike's movie reviews inside the latest River Cities Reader on stands everywhere and online at rcreader.com. For more information on today's movies, our website is ourquadcities.com.